People often look at Bruce Lee as a man without weakness, a figure almost too powerful to be human. In movies, he smashed opponents twice his size. In interviews, he spoke with wisdom that felt unshakable. To many, he appeared fearless, as if he never doubted himself, never felt insecure, and never had to struggle with emotions like the rest of us. But that's not the whole story. Bruce Lee did feel fear, he experienced rejection, he faced doubt, and he dealt with obstacles that could have broken him. The difference is this: he learned how to turn fear into power, and that transformation, from fear into fuel, is what made him unstoppable. Bruce's earliest encounter with fear came not in Hollywood gyms or glamorous studios, but on the tough streets of Hong Kong. As a young teenager, he found himself surrounded by gang fights, neighborhood brawls, and street dangers. He was bold, yes, but size was against him. He wasn't the largest boy. He wasn't untouchable. He lost fights at times. He got hurt, and he tasted humiliation. These moments could have either scared him into hiding or taught him something deeper. Bruce chose the second option. He realized avoiding fear didn't make it disappear. It only made it stronger. Every time he stood his ground, every time he faced danger instead of running away, he grew more confident. Fear became an opponent to spar with, not a prison to live inside. As he grew older, his view of fear matured. He began studying philosophy, Eastern and Western, and realized that fear is woven into human nature. Everyone feels it. The question is never, how do I avoid fear? The real question is, how do I respond to it? That's why Bruce famously said, "Do not pray for an easy life. Pray for the strength to endure a difficult one." He knew life would never remove challenges, and he didn't want it to. Challenges were opportunities. Fear was the compass pointing toward growth. In training, this compass guided him constantly. Traditional martial artists often repeated the same patterns for safety and mastery. For Bruce, that was too comfortable, too safe. He feared stagnation more than failure, so he invented new routines, often pushing his body beyond accepted limits. His workouts combined weight training, plyometrics, and street fighting drills. He experimented with exercises no one else in martial arts was doing. And yes, that scared him sometimes. What if it didn't work? What if critics laughed? What if he injured himself trying something unproven? But Bruce was clear. Fear meant he was expanding, and expansion mattered more than approval. Hollywood was another battlefield of fear. When Bruce arrived in the United States, he encountered rejection after rejection. To casting agents, he was too Asian for lead roles and too foreign to represent the kind of star they wanted. Imagine the fear of knowing your dream is being blocked by stereotypes, by forces outside of your control. Many would have quit, thinking the industry was impossible to change. But Bruce turned that fear of exclusion into motivation. He polished his English, he refined his acting, he showcased his charisma until it became undeniable. When Hollywood still hesitated, he went back to Hong Kong and created his own films. Those films were so successful that Hollywood had to come back to him. That's Bruce's philosophy in action. Use the energy of rejection as fire. Let it sharpen your determination instead of breaking your spirit. Even in combat, Bruce wasn't immune to nerves. Every fighter experiences the adrenaline of fear before a challenge. But where others froze, Bruce transformed that rush. He trained meditation, breathing, and full presence. He understood that fear is energy, and energy can either paralyze you or be harnessed. Before fights, instead of suppressing nerves, he embraced them. He let the energy sharpen his awareness, increase his speed, and enhance his timing. That is why in his demonstrations and fights he looked almost supernatural, because what was hurting others, he was harnessing. Now let's translate this to everyday life. You might not be in Hollywood or inside a fighting ring, but you probably know the feeling of fear. The fear of speaking up at work, the fear of failing an exam, the fear of confessing love, the fear of taking risks. The instinct is always to step back, to say, maybe I'll wait until I feel more ready. But Bruce would tell you that waiting is useless. The fear never vanishes. What changes is your relationship with it. When you act anyway, you discover that the fear loses its grip. And when you don't act, it grows stronger. One story that reflects this perfectly is when Bruce opened his martial arts school in America. At that time, some traditionalists criticized him, saying he should not teach non-Chinese students. It was controversial, risky, and filled with pushback. But Bruce believed knowledge should be free, not locked by race or tradition. Facing fear of rejection from his own community, he refused to back down. That decision not only expanded martial arts to a wider audience, but also made Bruce stand for something bigger than fighting: openness, equality, and expression. His career decisions followed the same pattern. When Hollywood offered him small, stereotypical roles, he could have accepted them, kept earning money, and stayed safe. But safety was never Bruce's game. He rejected those roles, risking financial struggle, because he feared something worse than poverty: the fear of betraying authenticity. He wanted to portray real strength, not cliches. That gamble led him back to Hong Kong, where his movies shattered box office records and forced Hollywood to treat him as the superstar he deserved to be. Bruce's fearless mindset was not recklessness, it was clarity. He wasn't trying to eliminate fear, he was learning to live with it, listen to it, and transform it. That's why his quote, "To hell with circumstances, I create opportunities," still echoes today. It's not about pretending obstacles aren't real. It's about refusing to be confined by them. Let's apply this to you. What fear is holding you back right now? Maybe it's fear of public speaking. Maybe it's the fear of launching your own project, posting your art online, switching careers, or chasing a dream others might laugh at. Next time fear speaks, remember Bruce's example. Don't try to silence it. Don't wait for it to fade. Use it. Let the fear remind you that the moment is important. Let it push you forward. When Bruce taught Jeet Kune Do, he emphasized adaptability, flowing like water, taking any form necessary. Fear, too, is fluid energy. Channel it one way and it drowns you. Channel it another way and it lifts you higher. That choice is yours every day. And so with all these stories, the lesson becomes clear. Bruce Lee's true power wasn't that he never felt fear. It's that he never let fear. The most dangerous opponent we'll ever face is not outside. It's the fear that tries to live within. Master that and, just like Bruce Lee, you'll prove to yourself that there are no limits.